Hello, everybody, and welcome to Marketing Mondays with Ira Bowman. My name is Ira Bowman. If we haven't met, welcome to the show. I've been on hiatus for a while, but we are back. It's a brand new year, and I thought we would start out with something that's critical to most businesses these days, and that is websites. So, today we're going to do a couple things. We're going to go in depth on websites. We're going to talk about two things specifically. If you need a new website, what do you do? And we can walk through that, the basic setups of a website. And then two, we're going to get into okay, what if you have a website, which most people in business for any given time have a website, but it might be underperforming. So, what do you do to fine tune it, to tighten it up so that your website performs better? We're going to give examples of things that you can do to help increase the user experience, right? Make it better. And also so that you can capture the attention in a positive way for Google so that you can rank higher there as well. So if you have SEO question, if you have platform questions like, hey, Ira, I need a website. I want to build it myself. Which platforms do you suggest? What tools do you suggest? How do I check even to see how my website is performing? We'll get into all of that. Feel free to ask your questions at any time and I'll answer them live here on the show. But first, if you're joining, because I've been gone for a while, this is my first show. Look, I've been on a hiatus. I've been taking a break. I have actually been off of social media for the most part for the last few months. I just kind of like needed to reset. So I stepped away a little bit from social media, but I'm jumping back in. So do me a favor. If you're watching, drop me a hello in the comments and let me know where you're watching from. I am watching or joining you live from the sunny Southern California area. I live just outside of LA in an area we affectionately call here the Inland Empire. So the show today could be called The Empire Strikes Back if you're a Star Wars fan, which I am. But I'm joining from Southern California. Oh, my son just piped in. Hello there, Junior. Southern California. Sorry, I still can't type and talk at the same time, guys. But anyways, my son just piped in from Facebook. So now I know the stream is working there live. Thanks for helping me with that, son. And I'm joining from Southern California. Where are you watching from? Let me know in the comments and I will give you a shout out on the screen and say hello back. All right. So, first things first, websites. Why are they important? Well, look, commerce is done online. That's really no surprise. Um, it had already been a major factor before COVID. Obviously, during COVID, it became even bigger factor. And now that we're post COVID, I think it's safe to say that. Anyways, post COVID, uh, it's not going anywhere. We're not reverting back to brick and mortar stores. In fact, if you notice in your towns, in your cities around, more and more businesses are shuttering their brick and mortar locations and going strictly online. So, websites are increasingly important, and you want to have a website that conveys the message clearly, thoroughly, not in a clunky manner, one that's visually intriguing. You need video content. And you also have to not forget the importance of the written word because Google, for all its artificial intelligence capabilities, still does not give you um, subject matter credit for video content. In other words, you could have all the answers to the frequently asked questions provided in videos, which I do suggest you do that, but you still need to have it written out in detail to get credit from Google. So we'll get into both sides of that. There's the human experience, and then there's the artificial intelligence experience, and you need to satisfy both. There are some very important things that people who build their own websites usually forget. And that's where the fine tuning might come in. So we'll get into that in a little bit, unless somebody has a specific question. But what am I talking about specifically when I talk about that? I'm talking about things like metadata. I'm talking about things like alt text. I'm talking about how you set up your H1 tags, H2 tags, your paragraph tags, things like that, where you can't really notice the difference visually because you can fake it out by increasing a font size or making it bold or whatever in paragraph. But if you don't give it the right heading tags, then you don't get the credit for it that you want with Google. Okay. You got to have a robot.text file. You need to make sure things like backlinks are not considered spam, or maybe it's been a while since you tested your links, the backlinks. You've tested your buttons, your forms. You want to make sure everything is working because you don't want to get 404 errors or 5XX errors or 3XX errors. These things all can hurt you. Hello, Litsit. You are watching from Johannesburg, South Africa. Well, welcome to the show. What time is it there? I used to know these things better, but again, I've been on break for a little while, so my brain is not fully functioning when it comes to the world clock. Let me know what time it is. Right now, it is 11:10 in the morning on Monday here in Southern California. I'm just curious what time it is there in South Africa. All right. And if you have a website that you would like me to review on the show, if you put the website address, what we call the URL, www.yourwebsite.com. If you put that in a comment, I'll open up that website and do a quick review for you too. And then maybe after this show, I might send you a little bit more detailed analysis on some suggestions that you could do to improve your overall user experience or the rankings that you're getting with Google. I'd be happy to do that for you. Now, in full disclosure, the company that I run, Bowman Digital Media, we do offer website building services, so we can create the website for you. We also offer SEO services. What is SEO? SEO is an acronym. It stands for search engine optimization. And really, the main search engine that we focus on is Google. However, we also, if you're a store or you're in e-commerce and you're selling on Amazon or Walmart, we can help you with those SEO services as well. So we can help you improve. Oh, it's late there. Lizette just said it's 21:11 p.m. That means I think 9:11. 9, that's how we do it. That's military time, but I think that 21:11 is 9:11 if I remember right. Anyways, I might be wrong there, but anyways, close enough. It's almost the end of the day is what I'm saying. All right. Well, anyways, back to what I was saying about Amazon and Walmart. If you have products that are listed on Amazon or Walmart, obviously you have competition. So how do you get your products to rank higher than other people's products? Well, that's a service that we offer. That's a little bit more technical, so we won't get into how we do that on the show. However, just know, I just want people to know that that is a service that we offer. So let me do this real quick. Let me share my screen. Okay. So this is Bowman Digital Media, but it's not our homepage. This is our website development page. And so if you're curious, we do build websites. We build them fast. So I'm just going to go over this. This isn't a commercial. It's more for just your edification if you're not familiar with, who I am and what we do and why I would have a show on Marketing Mondays about websites. So this is just straight facts here. Many are overwhelmed at the thought of building a website. If it's not what you do, it can be overwhelming. But Bowman Digital Media is here to help simplify the process, because at the end of the day, you want to communicate what you do and how you help in a simple to understand manner. That's so important. When we start looking at websites, let me split the screen here. All right. When we start looking at websites, which I'm going to go over 4 websites today. When we start looking at websites, one of the things that you want to do right out of the gate, I'm going to switch screens even again. When people are setting up their websites, you have to take yourself in a certain sense and remove your preferences and your expertise out of the equation at the top of the website, especially because the people who are coming to your website, first and foremost, they have a problem. or they have a want or a need. And more importantly than fancy artwork, more importantly than telling them all your experience and how many people you've helped and all those things, they don't care about that yet. Yet. They will eventually. It's not that that's not important. It's just not important. It's not the first thing that they need to know. The very first thing that they need to know is, can this website help me get what it is that I actually want or need? Right? Too many people are burying that down the page. So, like, you have to scroll. But here's the problem. And website owners don't like to hear this, but it's the truth. Most people are impatient. They're not going to give you time to build your case. They just want to know yes or no right away. I'm in the right spot or I'm not in the right spot. And if you overcomplicate it or you put the wrong things up at the top, they're out. They are out. You've got just a few seconds. Some people will say 6 seconds. Some people will say 8 seconds. Some people will say 3 seconds. I'll tell you this. You better make it the very first thing. What is it that you do, right? What is it that you do? I didn't intend to do this, but it always comes back down to it. So I guess I should have expected it by now. All right, I'm going to switch screens here and I'm going to give you an example. Oh, it's my mom. Look, I got my son and my mom on the show. Good morning, Mom. I called you on New Year's. You did not answer, but that's okay. I love you anyways, even if I'm your least favorite child. All right, I'm going to switch screens again. Here we go. I'm going to give you an example. This is my website, Bowman Digital Media. Okay. Notice what I have at the very top. Do you need marketing SEO services? We can increase sales and visibility for you. Why is that there? Because this is what my prospects are looking for, 100% without a doubt. If you have a website that's already performing well, if you are the first on all your keywords and the demographics you're looking for on Google, you're not hiring me. And that's okay. You don't need to. But this lets you know right away why you're there. If you go to bowmandigitalmedia.com, which is this website address, if you go to bowmandigitalmedia.com, that's the very first thing that you're going to see that's written. Do you need digital marketing SEO services? And we can increase visibility for you, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what people are doing. Now look at the second sentence, right? The second sentence. We help drive traffic to our clients' websites to increase their sales, to rank higher on Google, right? And then I have a video that says looking to increase sales. And if you continued that, it would be without sending out cold emails. Why? Because again, my clients, they're usually busy and most of them don't have the time or the desire to quote unquote spam to send out cold emails to a list of strangers. So, how do you get your sales up, your visibility up, without sending out a bunch of unsolicited emails, without spending a bunch of money on advertising, without hiring a bunch of salespeople? Well, it's your website and getting Google to recognize your website for what it is you do and how you help, and putting that in front of the audience that you want to see it. Okay. Now, some of that is SEO work, which again, we'll talk about later. But the website needs to communicate it right away. It needs to communicate it right away, right? So, do you need digital marketing SEO services? If you do, you're in the right spot at Bowman Digital Media. We've answered that question right away. Okay. Now, if you'll notice, I've got a lot of written content on here. I've got prices, we've got categories. So maybe they want search engine optimization or social media management or website development or graphic design or photography or videography. And we happen to do all of those things. We have pricing there. All they have to do is click on one of these buttons and it would take them to the plans and pricing, right? So they can get the information that they want fast. But the very first thing that we had to tell them was that we offer the marketing services. In fact, we offer turnkey marketing services, which just means you don't have to do anything. You get us plugged in and we do all the work. Because again, that's what our clients want. They want somebody to manage it all for them. All right. So as we keep going, we get further into it. Notice, if you've noticed, I have not said anything about my experience, the size of my team, how much collective experience we have, awards we've won, any of that stuff yet, right? It's not that it's not here, it's not there yet. Why? Because again, this is a mistake too many people are making. The top of their website is set up like a brochure, and you're trying to sell how you separate yourselves from your competition. And it isn't that you shouldn't do that on your website. It's just not to be done at the top of any of your pages, except for maybe the about page. Okay, that's the one exception to this rule, the about page. And that's why we have an about page. Because first question, can they do what I need them or want them to do? Yes or no? If you lose them there, they're not looking at any of your videos. They're not clicking on any of your buttons. They're not reading about you've been doing this for 99 years, right? Or I have collective 500 years experience, or the number one agency and all the blah, 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 blah. Because who cares? They don't care. They didn't come to your website to learn more about you in most cases. They came to your website, at least for the very first time, they came to your website to find out, to satisfy the answer to their question, do they or don't they do what I need them to do or want them to do? Okay. So when you're setting up your website or when you're fine tuning your website, because that's where most of you are falling into this particular issue, right? Do they or don't they? What is it that you help people with the most? That's the thing that you need to say at the top. Now, how you say it, you want to condense it to short and sweet. The keep it simple, stupid model. Kiss it, right? Oh, and my wife's on now too. Man, I could tell you that my family has come out to support me today. They're all like, "You're still doing that show?" Yeah, I haven't done it in a while. This is the first one I've done. I think it's been 4 months since I've done the last show. So, anyways, it's been a minute. All right, but I'm back, baby. Here we go. All right, so get yourself into the purview or the point of view, put yourself in the seat of the prospect that you're looking to attract. And what is their burning need or issue that you can help them with, and address that. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you from a sales perspective. And for those of you who don't know, I have over 25 years of professional sales experience. So I know a little bit about sales, business to business sales, right? If I walk into a prospect's office, especially the first time I'm talking to them, they don't care how funny I am, how intelligent I am, how much experience I have. They don't give a rip about my company. They're busy. Everybody's busy, especially post COVID, where, people got let go and then not replaced. So everybody's doing more than they did ever before, right? That's corporate culture these days. Everybody's wearing too many hats and they don't have free time for unsolicited or unwanted information. You've got to give it to them in bite-sized bits, and that bite-sized bit better be the best bite of the apple. What's the best bite? The best bite is the thing that answers the question, do you or don't you do what I need or want you to do? Again, at the top of the website. I have honed in on this because I will tell you this. If I look at 100 websites, 98 of them will not do this properly. 98. And I'm talking about even major corporations. Go to any of the major corporations, they pretty much all fail at this, right? They take for granted that people know what they do. I could pick on any company right now, so I won't pick on any of them, right? But the fact is, go to your favorite product and go to their website, right? Do they tell you right at the top what they do or how they help you, right? They probably don't. And so they could improve if they would just take my advice. And you can too. So if you're an accountant, a lawyer, a chef, a photographer, anything, whatever you are, right? What is the opening title of your website? Is it your company name? Don't do that. They know the company name most likely from the ad or from the listing on Google. They don't need you to repeat it. And by the way, it's most likely in the website address, right? BowmanDigitalMedia.com. Okay, I'm at Bowman Digital Media, right? I'm going to show you Prado Tax Services, Walton, Stellar Insight, and Enter Pangea. Guess what? Every single one of those websites, the website address is the name I just said. We don't have to say that again. And it's, by the way, in the branding, it's in the logo, right? So again, now we're not saying it once, we're actually saying it twice. We're saying it 3 times if you count the URL. So don't make the title of your website your company name. It's a waste of space and you're missing out on people who go next. They will literally click as fast as they click to get there, they'll hit the X or the back arrow to get back out. If you want to hook more fish, if you want to catch more prospects, then you got to catch their attention super quick. Like I said, anywhere from 3 to 8 seconds. That's all you got on average. It depends a little bit on your demographic and what they're looking for, right? And of course, there's always exceptions to the rule with the bell curve. Some people won't even wait for your website to load because your website speed is too slow. Again, that's a sign that you need some fine tuning. We'll get into that a little bit later, right? But in the beginning, and I've spent a lot of time on it, I hope you guys are paying attention. That first opening salvo is why most websites either make it or break it once the right prospect is actually there. And if they're not the right prospect, you're doing everybody a favor by getting them out of there anyways, right? You don't need somebody who isn't really a prospect to spend a bunch of time going through your website. Now, there are SEO arguments to counter that, like, hey, traffic is traffic. And if they spend 3 minutes there, great. Okay, I can understand that. But at the end of the day, business isn't in business for vanity metrics. We're in business for invoices, right? We want to make invoices. Why? Because that's where money flows. You can hire people, you get more profit, you can place more orders. Everything happens through the sale, right? This is why I always say the sales team is the most important team in any business. And you're all part of the sales team, whether you're the front line doing the selling or you're supporting the sales team, right? You need sales. Without sales, your business shutters. It goes away. You've got to have sales. So make sure you're not missing the most important thing. Remember this, the most important impression is the first impression. So I'm looking for an espresso machine. I bought my wife an espresso machine for Christmas. You know what? When I went to look at the espresso machines, when I went to the websites to check them out, I didn't care about the history of Black and Decker, right? I didn't. What did I care about? I cared about how big is it? What functions does it have? Things like that, right? Price. I cared about price. I cared about, I had a few things. So if I had to go through 6 different screens to get to the product and then read about all the stuff I didn't care about to find the information that I was looking for, the specifications, if you will, odds are I wasn't going to stay there and I moved on to the next, right? And then again, once I was on Amazon and I'm looking for products, same thing. If it's on page 9, I'm not going that far. I don't need to look at 99 different espresso machines to find one that my wife would like. I hope, right? I didn't get to page 99, Alicia, if you're still watching. All right. So give them the answer that they want right away that satisfies the question, the main question. Do you or don't you do the thing that I need or want you to do? Right. And then when it gets to the other side of that, when you're talking about Google, Amazon, or Walmart, make sure that you're listing from those prospective websites, right? Respective websites. Make sure that your Google listing is high for the keywords that you're looking for. So in this case, espresso machine, right? But it could have been anything, right? So Amazon, Walmart, Google, wherever you're trying to rank high, make sure you have the keywords noted somewhere. These are the keywords that my prospects are searching for online. Check to see where you rank. And if you don't rank high enough, get on a consultation call with somebody from my company, Bowman Digital Media. We will help you figure out what you need to do, and we can give you an idea of what we would charge to do that for you, or give you some tips on what you might do yourself to help to give yourself a hand to boost your rankings. Okay. So let's get back into the website services of Bowman Digital Media and how we help. Where'd my mouse go? There it is. All right. So I'm going to scroll back up just a little bit. I just want to go through this opening. Nope, right here. Okay. So we help simplify the process because at the end of the day, you want to communicate what you do, how you help in a simple to understand manner, which we've covered now in ad nauseum. So we're good. Make it easy for your prospects to interact with your content. That's the other part that people sometimes are missing. So you have to simplify the message, make it clear, and you also have to make it in bite size. You don't want long, continuous uh, sections. Break it up into paragraphs. See how I've got this here? Here's an example. So this could easily be one long paragraph, but I break it up for two reasons. Psychologically, white space has a calming effect, but also if it's really long, most people will look at that and they'll go, I ain't reading that. That's a book. But you break it up into 5 short paragraphs and people go, oh, it's not too bad. It's the same amount of words. In fact, it takes up more space this way because I've added some breaks. But psychologically, this will test much better. All right. Thank you, brother. And also, we have Edwin watching from Kenya. Thank you, Edwin, for tuning in. We appreciate you and hope you're having a happy new year so far, everybody. All right. So here's an example of a way that I'm talking about easy to interact with your content. I'm going to give you 3 examples here. 4. We already talked about this, making the message bite-sized, right? So it's easy to consume. Then I've got a YouTube video right here. Why do I use YouTube videos? I actually use YouTube videos for 2 reasons. The first reason is when I hit play, it plays right here on the website. You don't have to leave and go to another site to watch the videos, okay? But I also use YouTube videos. Well, it's a 2 for 1 here, so it's 3 reasons, I guess, okay? The second reason is the same company, the parent company of Google is YouTube. And even though it's not published, I think this is undisputed amongst SEO experts, at least everyone I've ever talked to. There are options here. There are other video housing services that compete with YouTube. But since YouTube is owned by Google, or the company that owns Google, we believe that the Google algorithm gives you extra points in the equation, in the algorithm score, if you will, for using YouTube as opposed to one of the others. Okay. Now, YouTube does have some limitations, so it doesn't work perfectly. Let's say, for example, you want a paywall and you want to have a video behind a paywall, so they have to pay to watch the video. YouTube is probably not the right answer. But on my website, none of the videos are paid. So in this case, we don't mind. And we do have some landing pages that are not on the menu that are paid for. However, those are what we call blind landing pages. So you have to pay us, and then we send you those links. Anyways, there's some ways to get around it, but I digress. Just how easy it is to interact with this video, and they can make it full screen really easily just by clicking that button. Okay. The other thing that I've got here is book free consultation. So if they read this and go, hey, I want to book a free consultation, they can click on that button right there and it'll take them right to the calendar where they can book their consultation. And then you'll notice this button right here. See, contact Ira. It stays there the whole time. So it is really easy to get a hold of me. All you have to do on any page on my website is just click on the side tab, contact Ira. And we did that on purpose because we wanted to make it, my pages are very long. I have a ton of words on my website. I have probably over 100,000 words in total on my website. And there's a very good reason for that. I don't expect any human being to ever read all 100,000 of those words. And we add more and more all the time, by the way. Right. But why are we adding those words? And that's a part that we'll get into more in detail later. But the answer to that question is Google, the artificial intelligence. Remember, you have the human visitor and you have the bots. The bots, which we used to call spiders and crawlers. And, anyways, these websites like Google, who else? Moz, HubSpot, maybe not so much HubSpot. Hang on a second. SEMrush, those types. They rank websites and they check out domain authority scores and they check out, like load speeds and GTX and all these things, right? So they'll send out crawlers to these sites and they are going to consume all the data. And that's where we need the metadata. That's why we need to have our headings correct. That's why we need to have the robot.txt. That's why we need to check all our links and make sure they're not broken. All those things. Okay. That's the artificial intelligence. That audience, well, they do know that you have video content. They do know that you have graphical content. So could be JPEGs or charts, things like that. They know that it's there, but they don't actually consume the data itself. So whatever's inside the video or whatever on the graphic or on the image, they don't give you credit for that. Now they will look to see if there's alt text, and they'll give you credit for what's in the alt text, but not the actual image itself. So the human being is a visual person. So the visual person is going to give you credit for the video. In fact, 80% of people online will consume videos eventually when they're online. So that's why we recommend having video content on every page of your websites. Now, not all my customers follow that rule, but at Bowman Digital Media, we do. Every single page of the website has a video or multiple videos on it because we know the tendency of the human is to scan. They read the headlines for the most part. They scan them and they stop where they're interested. If they stay, right, you got to catch their attention. But if they stay, that's what they do. They don't read all the words. Nobody reads all the words. Okay. But they do look at the pictures, they do read the graphics, and they will watch the videos. So the videos are important. Okay. But that's just for the human being. If you want the robots or the crawlers, the spiders, if you want those to consume it, you have to have it in written form. Okay. And so that's why there's so many words on bowmandigitalmedia.com. Okay. So at any one of these sections, if you're going through it, I've made the headings big, easy, because people will read that, right? Like, for example, when you're going to build your website, and we'll get into the building part of it now, you do have options. There are website options out there. We use WordPress. That's how we do it. Okay. Why WordPress? The reason why we use WordPress is basically all right here, right? There's design flexibility. There's user-friendly content management. There are powerful plugins, third-party tools, basically, and it's SEO ready. All right. So let's say some of the alternatives out there, and I don't want to pick on people, but let's talk about Squarespace for a second. Okay, because Squarespace is a popular alternative to WordPress. Why WordPress is superior to Squarespace? I could write a 10,000 page report on it. It would take me a long time, but I really could. There's that many reasons. There's a lot of reasons. Why do people use Squarespace? First of all, Squarespace advertises. So they know about it. It's on the top of their mind, which is a clue to you that advertising does work. Okay. Squarespace advertises. GoDaddy advertises, right? There's more, but again, I'm not here to pick on people. But when they advertise, the consumer doesn't know. They're not an expert at these things. They go, I need a website. I can remember GoDaddy. I can remember Squarespace. I can remember blah, blah, blah. You fill in the blank, right? Weebly is another one. Like there's so many of them, right? Why do people use these sites? They use them because of the advertising, but there are limitations. Now, the limitations in the beginning can be a comfort because there's not as much to learn and it's easier to use. There's no doubt about it. Building a website on Squarespace is very simple. It's basically plug and play. But the problem is, and we'll get into some live examples here. Samuel says, great and insightful presentation. I'm following from Nairobi. Thank you so much, Samuel. And welcome to the show. All right. Here's an example. Let's say you're using, I mentioned HubSpot earlier, which is a CRM, contact record management company, right? So let's say you're using HubSpot or Salesforce or whatever, a CRM with your business, which most of you, when you start your business, won't do. And I understand that. So when you go to build your website, you're like, I don't need any third-party connectivity to my CRM or enterprise software because I'm so small. I'm just trying to make money to pay my bills. That's how I was when I started Bowman Digital Media. All I had was me and my QuickBooks software and the attorney I hired. And that's it. Right. So that's it. So you build a website, simple. What do? I build websites. I manage social media. I take pictures and make videos and I do graphic design, right? Boom, done. Built my website in like 48 hours. Now I used WordPress because I happen to be a WordPress developer. Okay. But I could have easily been suckered into GoDaddy with all the Danica Patrick commercials or Squarespace because it's less expensive, it's easy, it's less intimidating, all those things, right? Wrong. Here's why. First problem. Those are what we call closed architecture. Now that's the technical terminology, okay? But I want to make it easy for you. You have a sandbox environment that's closed. It's got a gate around it. Nothing can come in from outside. So if you have a custom app built or any custom software or any third-party software, for example, in this case, I'm going to use HubSpot as the example. HubSpot has a free CRM solution. I believe it's up to 2,000 contacts that you can put into HubSpot for free. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's true. Okay. So you go, okay, my business is starting to take off. And I have a list of prospects that I've made first contact or second contact or third contact or fourth contact. By the way, it takes on average in business 7 to 12 points of contact before you make that sale. So this is not uncommon. But when you start out, you've got a Rolodex or you've got an Excel file. Most of you probably an Excel file now. You don't even know what a Rolodex is anymore. But that's okay. I'm old. It's easy to keep, manila file folders or however you're doing it. It's easy to keep, the first 50 to 100 organized old fashioned style, right? But as you're having that fourth conversation, fifth conversation, sixth conversation with those 100, you didn't stop, hopefully, right? You're still making new calls. So you've got a series of people with 3 calls and a series of people with 2 calls. And then you've got your first time cold calls, right? Or you went to a networking event and you just made 45 new business cards from a fishbowl, whatever, right? Where are you putting all that data? Well, you're probably going to start looking for a solution called a CRM, even if you don't know what that is yet. And I don't have time to educate you. But anyways, that's what it is, right? So HubSpot. So your very first external need to communicate with your website is your CRM. If you use Squarespace or GoDaddy system that isn't WordPress, because GoDaddy actually does offer WordPress too. So to be fair, full disclosure. But if you use GoDaddy's closed system or anybody's closed architecture system, you cannot connect third-party apps, no API keys to your CRM. You just can't do it. So you have a website basically that's only going to be functional for a very short amount of time before you need to upgrade it. And by the way, if you want to do SEO, I can't do much for you with the Squarespace or GoDaddy account or any of the others, right? Wix, Weebly, none of them. You can't do it because it's closed. Okay, closed architecture. You got to have open architecture. WordPress is superior for a million reasons, if not more, including design flexibility, user-friendly content management, the plugins, which there's millions of plugins. What are plugins? Plugins are, that view doesn't work. There we go. Plugins are basically like apps that are designed for website owners to do specific things. Like, for example, this little button right here is part of an app, right? Now we call it a plugin, but that's what it is. So you click on this, again, any page, it just floats there. You can always get a hold of me really easily. All right. So, but that's why it's there. I couldn't do this on a Squarespace site. I couldn't do this on your Wix account. I can't do this on your Weebly website. I can't do it. And it's not that I don't know how to do it, it's that they won't let me do it. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why WordPress. Okay. I'm going to skip past full website build out, but I do have a little description on, what it is we offer and how much it costs. So again, I don't want to waste people's time. If they go, I got a budget of $1,000, you're barking up the wrong tree, right? We can't help you. All right. Media Kit. I explain what it is and how much it is, and we're going to keep on moving. What sets our WordPress services apart? Now, I want you to notice where I am on the page. I'm about 40% of the way down. The reason why I want you to note this is really the first time where I get into the who we are and what makes us different than our competition. Okay. It's not at the top. It's not 5% down. This is where a lot of you, again, are making your mistake. You're jumping right into who you are and your experience and the awards you won and those kinds of things too soon. Again, if I'm going to spend $5,000 or $15,000 or whatever it's going to be to have a custom website built, it's not that I don't want to know who it is and their experience and can I trust them? I do. It's just not my first question. The first question I have, only because I know what I'm doing, is are they a WordPress developer or not? And then I want to know, are they custom coding everything? Or are they doing no code using tools like, themes and Beaver Builder or WP Bakery and there's so many different ones, right? But anyways, again, when we get into the expertise part of this, I don't want to talk over you. But anyways, there's think of it this way: drag and drop builders out there, right? With a bunch of presets. And then you do a little bit of coding to help massage it and get it exactly the way you want. You implement third-party apps and some custom CSS, right? So that's how we do it. And that's how we keep our prices low, right? So we utilize themes, we utilize WordPress open architecture, we utilize the heck out of apps, and then we do custom coding as needed to massage things. We're working on one for a client right now, which actually I'm going to show you their website, but I'm not going to show you the part that we're custom coding for them. We've got something going on. But the reason the custom coding was needed actually was because of their integration on their CRM. And we want to take specific data and move it over to the CRM, which is done through an API key. But then when it gets there, we want it to do if this, then that type of logic. And so we need to do a little custom coding. My friend Sheila Jones is in the house. What is going on, my friend? She's coming to us all the way from the East Coast. So it's like 2:49 p.m. there. But Sheila, I hope you're having an amazing 2025. We need to We need to get on the phone and chat. I'll call you later. All right. That's my buddy Sheila. Okay. Um, so that's the answer, right? Like I need to address the very basic thing first. Can we do what they want or need? And the answer to that is clearly yes. But now, down 40% of the way into the page, now you can see we're going to start talking about the things that separates us. What are those things? Well, we maintain the website after it's built, which is important because a lot of website development companies will build it and then you're on your own. You're left to your own devices. Okay. Seamless upgrades. We're going to update your theme, your plugins, all the things that will go wrong. Make sure your links, your buttons are working, right? All those things. We're going to do it quickly. We have flexible and customer centric approach. So how you contact us, how fast we respond, when we work, all those things. And then because I did graphic design in the print industry for so long, we have a reputation for having really good graphic design, which I'll give you some examples of that here in a second too, when we get into examples of the websites. Okay. So then what else? When should you consider a WordPress web design company? Now I'm starting to make the case for Bowman Digital Media over like a Squarespace or a Wix or Weebly or GoDaddy. Okay. And then I give you examples of our work, which I'm actually going to show you live. But I call out here Walton Management Services and Prado, and I've got a bunch of others, but I'm going to show you these ones and a few others. The most recent one that I did that we're have made public. We do work for some of our clients where it's private, like we're the builder, but we're not supposed to tell anybody about it. So we keep that confidential. And if you need that, we are available and we honor that. However, this is one that I built for one of my friends. And this is being cut off only because I'm on a square screen on this particular monitor. However, this is called Enter Pangea, and it's actually a philanthropy project, or I'm sorry, that's not the right way to say it. It's a community project by a company called Solusis. Okay. So Solusis owns this particular company, Pangea, and their website is enterpangea.com. And they wanted something very simple. They wanted something that was visually interesting that they were going to send. So they're not trying to rank high on Google. They're sending this information directly to a list of potential investors. This is a website designed to capture the attention of people that their sales folks have already talked to about investing in this venture. Okay. So it's for VC raise. Okay. So notice the photo. It's eye popping. Now, we are the energy we seek, streaming conscious energy. This speaks directly to their audience. However, it wouldn't grade well on my scale. And we had this conversation, frankly, vendor to client, like, hey, you should probably start that with what it is you're doing. But they didn't want to do it that way. So they made that choice, and that's totally fine. That was up to them. But notice how it floats, and the picture behind it stays stationary. This is what we call contemporary design. This is the contemporary way, or the more modern way to do it, as opposed to a more traditional approach where the picture would scroll when you move your mouse. The picture would stay in a stationary spot and move up. I'm sorry, it wouldn't stay stationary, it would move up, right? So this is called the floating effect. But anyways, all right. So they make their case, they have integration, they build Pangea, and then the expansion that it's 4 stages, and there's 4 pages, one for each of those stages. Okay. So then we explain what it is. But notice we followed a lot of the same rules. Visually interesting. Everything's easy to read. It's laid out in a way where you can scan it quickly because we know that's what people are doing. The thing that they're missing here, and it's frankly because they're relatively new and they haven't had time to do it yet, they're in the middle of making videos and having them produced, high-end produced videos. So they're not quite ready yet. So there are no videos on this website yet, but there will be. But we have things like this here. Drop downs, clickable links, right? The information, again, it's easy to read. It's visually interesting. It doesn't look like pretty much any other website that you're going to see out there. This website was custom coded to help build. They have a place where people can invest and donate. So there's a QR code, right? And there's just the 4 pages. So there's the home page, the vision page. I'll take you to some of these pages, right? But you have a consistent look for branding. Sorry, it's a little slow just because I'm sharing my video here. All right. But this is the second page. Notice the look. Okay. So everything looks and feels the same. So you know you're on the same website, but now the information is different. This is the about page. I'm sorry, this is the vision page where they're casting the vision. So they explain what Pangea is and what the larger development, what their big picture, like think 30,000 foot view is for the project, right? They have a open letter to the children of 2099, which when I read that letter, that's when I decided to work on this particular project. It's very intriguing, and you can actually click this button here, and it'll take you to the entire letter, right? This is just the opening salvo, if you will, right? So anyways, this is the kind of stuff that you want to have on your websites. Make it easy to read. It's broken out into sections. You've got the headings set correctly. Google, just by way of information here, Google gives you more credit or more attention or more points, however you want to phrase it, for titles than they do for paragraphs. So this would be an H2, this would be an H3. So it's written here in black is there's more consideration than what's here in white highlighted, as long as, and this is an important note to catch, your paragraph text supports the heading itself. So if you have the heading and no paragraph, it doesn't help you. This is where people are making a mistake with their video content. They make the heading get more sales, for example, and then they put a video and explain all about how to get more sales. They have no written content. Well, Google doesn't give you credit for that because your information, they basically think that you're spam because you're promising on something you're not delivering. So you have to deliver the content of the headings in written form. Now, how do you do that without cluttering up your website? Well, I've already shown you an example of how you can do it, and it was right here. Oh, it was on the other page. Sorry, hang on a second. Make sure I'm right. Yeah, they don't have any. They don't have any on that page. Let me go back to the home page. We call these accordion or expandable sections, right? So when you have a lot of information that you want to share, but you don't want to clutter up your website, Google does not care that you make them click. In fact, they give you credit for this. This is called interactive media. When they have to click on something for it to do something and they click it and they stay, then Google gives them you credit because they're validating that they're still there. Okay. So you can show the information. It can be as long as you want. In fact, on my website, I have some that get pretty long. Okay. These actually aren't all too long, but clickable or accordion style deliverable content is really good way to add extra content to support what it is you do without cluttering up the page, right? And notice I have, this is my homepage now, frequently asked questions on my homepage. Why do I do that? Because again, if you think about it, what is a frequently asked question? It's a question that gets asked all the time by the majority of the people that you would deal with as a prospect, right? So why wouldn't you want to answer those questions specifically on your website? Let me give you another example. We took this, this is Brad Smith. He runs a company called Stellar Insight, right? Here's the number one question he gets asked by CEOs. Can CEO coaching really help me? I'm already a CEO. He gets asked that every day. So we decided to make that the opening question in his website and then answer it both with written word and with the video. Okay. And then look, he's got a video there. He's got 3 interactive buttons. But look what we did here. We moved the frequently asked questions section all the way to the top, just under what we call the fold. So this would be the fold because it's the first thing you see when you open it up. If you scroll at all, there's the FAQs right then and there. And now he helps people. I've been working with him for a long time, so I can tell you all about his business. But he helps people basically in these ways: with time management, with money, hiring, sales, with their culture, organizational structure, and communication. Now, if you click on any of these, it'll open it up and it'll actually give you more information on the particulars, right? But again, we don't want to clutter up the whole website so that we're down. If we had all of those open, we would be down really far. We'd be down to like right here before we get into the rest of the stuff. He doesn't want to do that, right? But if you count all the words on his homepage, it's over 1,500 words that are on his homepage. But the way he delivers it, the way we've set this up, it doesn't look like it's all that much. Okay. So it's not visually overwhelming. A person's not going to come here for the first time and go, oh, I'm not reading all that. There's too much. Right. The other thing that we did for him, and you'd have to go into mobile view to see it, but we made all the font on his website, the paragraph font, 20 points. Okay. 20 points. Why? Because he deals with people that are 40s, 50s, 60s, even 70s. I'm in my 40s, late 40s, but 40s nonetheless. Thank you very much. And I wear bifocals, and I think I need new bifocals because I don't think my prescription is accurate anymore. So I need to go get my eyes checked because I'm having more and more trouble reading things these days. But anyways, that's just because I'm getting older. So his prospects are also like me or older, older. And we wanted to make sure that they could read the content easily. Okay. So when you're looking at this full screen, so I'm going to pop off here. These are basically 1 3/4 the size of what your normal font would be. Normal font on a website is going to be your 12 point. And on here, we've got them at 20 point for the paragraph, right? The headings are easy to read, but the font on regular paragraphs for most websites is a little small for his demographic. So we made it larger. And again, easy to use. You don't have to be a technical genius to understand what it is that he's got going on his website. Okay. Let me show you some other things that you can do on websites. Now, sliders are a good way. So we have these here. Again, this was an idea. It's a little bit different than what I did at Bowman Digital Media, but notice that these float. So instead of just having contact Ira, we could have a phone number, email, address information, or the contact button. So again, if I was on Weebly, Wix, Squarespace, any of these, I couldn't do this. Okay. But because this is a WordPress website, we custom create these things, or we use third-party plugins depending on what it is the client wants. The other thing that's nice here is we have the colors to match the theme of the website, right? So his colors are right here in his logo. He's got the red, the white, and this dark blue. Okay. Now we have custom photos that I actually went up there and took. They're from the Bay Area. And then we also have the ability to scroll through and see the different sections. Now, it will rotate through like a video, but if people read fast or they want to get to one specifically, they can read these. And they answer, look at that. Own a business, file your corporate taxes with ease. Stressed about your personal taxes, we can help. They are taking the questions that their clients or prospects are asking and they're answering them. Right? Personalized service delivered every time. You're not an account number at Product Tax Services. You're a name. You're a person. They know you. They know your situation. Okay. Why choose us? We realize you have many options when it comes to filing your taxes, though it's important to make sure that your taxes. Oh, sorry, the thing's in the way there a little bit. I need to actually fix that. That's called the margin that I need to make the padding a little bigger. But anyways, okay. Your tax preparer understands your needs and can deliver optimal results. We invite you to get to know us and understand the values we choose to operate every day, right? They're personal, they're professional, they're trustworthy. And notice how those things flip. Again, this just makes it visually interesting. We want to take that user experience and make it as enjoyable as possible. Okay. So flip boxes can help with that. Notice on the back of these flip boxes that there is some content, written content. Again, you're getting credit from Google, even though it's not shown here, it's there. So take advantage of your opportunities to add the things that you need to say here. Now, see what our clients are saying. This is an important part of this. We've got a video where you can watch a video testimonial from the client, and we've got a video that shows the written these are all Google reviews in this video, but they're what people are actually saying in the score. They've got 21 reviews on Google, and we take you through them in the video. So you don't have to leave the website, and you can still take other people's word for it as opposed to just theirs, right? And then again, here we've got something just to make it a little bit visually interesting. Filing online with Prado is convenient. It's easy, it said. Right now it's saying it's secure. Okay. Easy, convenient, and secure. And you can learn more about it. And you can upload your docs here. User friendly, easy to read, visually interesting websites. Right. And again, this one has all kinds of custom features that we built into it. There's a lot of pages here. And by the way, one thing that we're really proud of with this website, if you need a Spanish website, it's coming. Their clientele is over 50% Hispanic. They do a lot of Hispanic work. So we have a fully functional Spanish website that clones this. It's already built. We're just waiting to fix one little thing in our custom coding, and then it'll be live. It'll be live in the next couple days. Okay. So like we did, hang on a second, like we did with this one here. Okay. Verbalbridges.com is another one of our clients, right? So here we have a fully functional website in English, German, and Spanish. So if you click this button, it takes everything over and it converts it to the Spanish. Now it's asking me if I want to translate the Spanish back to English. No, Google, I don't want to do that, right? But now everything is in Spanish, okay? We did the same thing with Prado Tax Services. So they'll be able to read everything in their native language, including all the blogs. So on this website, we have everything in 3 languages. It's English, Spanish, or German. But on Prado, they don't really do anything with German, right? Or French or Japanese. So anyways, all the different languages out there. So that's what we have going on here. Okay. So it's Prado's website in the next day or two. That'll be fully functional in both English and Spanish. And it isn't Google Translate. We went through and custom translated it, the language, with the help of the client, by the way. My friend Mike O'Connor, Happy New Year, brother. That hair of yours, mine's getting shorter. Yours is getting longer. Mike O'Connor could probably braid his hair right now. Looking good, brother. Hope you're having a good day. All right. So again, your website needs to answer the question right out of the gate. It needs to say, from the prospect, from their point, thank you, brother, from their point of view, right? If they're there to buy a cheeseburger and you don't sell cheeseburgers, they're wasting their time. They want to know not how long you've been cooking, not how your if you say how your burger is better than somebody else's, I guess you're inadvertently answering the question. But anyways, they want to know, can I get my cheeseburger here? Right? They want to know how much it is. They want to know how fast you can get it to them. These are the things that you need to answer first, right? Don't go into your history, your culinary history, right? The name, right? Unless the name is "We sell cheeseburgers," that shouldn't be the top of your website. If my website address is bowmandigitalmedia.com, I don't need to tell you the very first thing here at Bowman Digital Media, right? What do I need to tell you? I can help you with your marketing. I can help you boost sales. Why? Because that's what my clients want. My prospects want. They want to know, can you, website, help me fill in the blank with something I want or need? Answer that question right away, right? Again, interactive content. So you've got pictures, you've got videos, you've got some of that expandable media, you've got buttons, right? Make it easy. Don't have 3,000 words in one long paragraph. Bite size, because people aren't reading, they're scanning. The words are super important for, again, the artificial intelligence. When the bots, whether it's SEMrush or Google or any one of the countless websites that are out there that are indexing websites and keeping track of who does what and how they do it, right? All of those things are important for the artificial intelligence. But make no mistake, artificial intelligence is not buying your product or service. So you need to make sure they understand what you do in detail. But up at the top of your website, every page, that's for the human being. Get the message clear. Again, let's go back to Prado because they just do it so darn well, right? Let's go back here and I'll show you. So what page was I on? Oh, it's this one. All right. Personalized service delivered every time. Now here's the questions. Stressed about your personal taxes. Look, if I'm looking for somebody who can do my taxes, my personal taxes, and I read that, I know for sure they can help. Now, it may not be the company I end up going with, but at least I know I'm on the right website. I don't have to keep searching. Same thing for the professional services, right? Own a business? Yes, I do. File your taxes with ease. Okay, let's keep talking. Personalized service delivered every time. To me, that's important, but that may not be the thing that's most important to you. But they hit that really quick. Again, this is an automated flip deck. It's not a video, but it plays like a video, which is important because, again, you want your prospects to get the questions satisfied and then start to feel comfortable that you can do what it is they want. The more comfortable they feel with the answer to that pressing need or want, the more interested they will become in who you are and how you do it and how long it takes and how much it costs. All those things. But Mike O'Connor knows this just as well as I do. What problem do you solve is what needs to be at the top of these pages. 100%, right? Like Mike runs a website. It's called serviceprofessionalsnetwork.com. Hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people are on it. I think hundreds of thousands of people are going to it every day now. But anyways, what's the point of using serviceprofessionalsnetwork.com? The point is simple. I want more exposure for myself or for my business or for both. And serviceprofessionalsnetwork.com will allow you to do those things for free. So when you get into the SEO part, how to rank higher, if you have a business website that's struggling to get noticed by the artificial intelligence, build yourself a free business profile, business listing on serviceprofessionalsnetwork.com, and that will help boost your score. It's a win-win, right? Okay. One more example I want to show you guys. This is Walton. Now, Walton, what we did here is we incorporated the video into the header. The type of client that they're dealing with is a little bit more sophisticated, business tech savvy than the average consumer. So the website was designed with that avatar or that demographic in mind. So what we did is we built this website 100% with them in mind. So the video explains what it is. We save you time and money. Who doesn't want that? How we do it with our cutting edge technology. And then we're going to start the loop over again. All right. So it's smart and simple. WOTC, VOE, UI, cost control, simple HR. Now, if you're not in HR, you won't know what that means, but their demographic knows exactly what WOTC, VOE, and UI claims are, right? It's all uninsured, un oh my gosh. My brain just had a brain freeze. So, anyways, okay. WOTC, VOE, and UII cost control. Their prospects are interested in that. Notice right here, they've got the contact tab. You might recognize that from my site. They've also got an online customer support AI uh, chat assistant, right? Artificial intelligence is not the enemy if you're using it correctly. And Mr. Michael Connor said, I appreciate you and I appreciate you too, sir. Thanks for tuning in. We got to catch up, bro. We haven't talked in a while. All right. Contact us now button. Again, we want to make it easy, interactive, visually interesting, right? So we're using the color scheme. We've got flip tiles here. Okay. The main thing I wanted to show you here is just right here. You can have a video. Now, we recommend keeping them short. In fact, you want the video size to be under 1 meg if you're hosting this on your site. If you're hosting it on a third party, like we are here, then it can be bigger. But you still want it to be fast. Again, site speed is one of the 5 pillars of SEO. So this doesn't bog down the load time. Okay. But now I'm going to put him down just so we can see more. Okay. So we're explaining what we do, why I work with Walton. But notice when they hover, things change. Even here, this is another example. This is something I want to show you. Remember, keep it interesting and fun, user experience. When you click here, it says one set of information. When you click here, it changes information. Same thing for the rest of them. Okay. Then right here, companies that trust Walston. And then we've got a video, another video. This one has sound with it. They don't have to leave. All right. Now, this one is not hosted on YouTube, right? It's a Vimeo video, right? So Vimeo is another video hosting service provider, and there's others that you can use, right? Use the one that makes most sense. And based whatever you are trying to do, if you explain it to us, we can help you figure out how the best way to do it is. Okay. So now we've got some interactive graphics here. Again, we're just trying to keep things interesting. We've got some text that scrolls and changes as it rolls through. They've got the blog here. And then again, we've got frequently asked questions with the expandable accordion style delivery. Okay. Again, the word count on this page is over 1,500 words. Why is that the case? The case is simple. It was 2 years ago now. It was back in 2023. A study was done, and I need to update my data now that 2024 is in the books. But in 2023, the average website ranking on Google for any topic. So this is just all topics mixed together. What's the average? The average was 1477, I think. It was 1470 something. It wasn't quite 1500. It was just under 1500. You had to have at least 1500 words on any given page, not just the home page, any given page for it to rank in the top 10 on Google. So if you know the average, you need 1,500 words to rank the first page of Google, why would you have any web page that you want to rank? Not website, web page. There's a difference there, right? Like at Bowman Digital Media, we have a page for each of the 6 services we offer. We have About Us page. We have our blogs. We have our homepage. You understand? So we have many pages. Any of those pages that you want to rank on Google needs to have 1,500 words or more. That's what the study said. So when we're building out web pages, we're in consultation with our prospects. That's one of the first things we address. Where is the content that you want on each of these pages? If you don't have enough content, we either need to write some more or we need to consider not having that as a page. Maybe that's a subsection of a larger page that has more stuff on it. Now, there are advantages and disadvantages to having a lot of stuff on one page. It's hard to rank for multiple keywords on one page right? It's easier to have, okay, here's some behind the scenes thoughts. And I'm going to wrap this up because I'm already 20 minutes over and I didn't even get into all the SEO that I wanted to today, but I'm going to leave you with this. All right. Why do I have a video services, a graphics page, a photography page, website development page, SEO page, right? Why do I have all those separate pages? Well, two reasons. A, somebody's looking for graphic design probably doesn't care about all the other stuff. Or if they want my photography services, they probably don't care about all the other stuff. So there is that, right? Just focus to that specific need. But there are clients, many of my clients, who use us for multiple boxes. Okay. So why do I then make them go to 6 different pages? Well, here's why. Because when I talk about photography on my website, I not only list out the products and services that we offer and the pricing, of course, you would expect that, right? But I also get into the semantics. Like, for example, let me go over to my website again, share the screen here. Just look at this one, right? What do I have here? I have, the frustration that we deliver. So we do website development, we build them fast because that is a question I get all the time. Ira, how long is it going to take me? Oop, I shared the wrong. I realized my face was hidden. Sorry. How long will this take? Well, we can turn them around fast. I've built websites in 48 hours, right? But, sometimes they take 3 or 4 months. It just depends on the project. How complex is the project? The Prado website took more like 3 months to get done. And the first one I showed you, the Anthropangea, that was one I did in like 3.5 days, right? So there you go, just 2 that I've shared here. The Verbal Bridges website took a couple weeks. So it just depends on the complexity of the website. All right. But we do build them fast if you need them. Okay. What else? Why design WordPress? Again, I'm making the case for WordPress. So again, that. But one of the advantages of me doing this is WordPress developer, WordPress website. These are words that I start to rank higher on because I have the information listed out, not just in a video, not just a quick heading. We do WordPress development, or we recommend a WordPress website. I could have just said that, right? But why do I spell it out the way I do? So the reason why I spell it out is because I need to rank higher on Google. You need to use the words that you're trying to rank for in the headings, in the page URL, even itself, the titles. Again, there's lots of strategy I don't have time to get into, but you also need to support it with your text. Your paragraphs need to explain in detail, both horizontally and vertically. What do I mean by that? You got to go wide and cover a variety of topics, and then you've got to go deep. What do I mean by that? You've got to get into the nitty gritty. Now, if you don't want to have it so that it's cumbersome to read, then that's where you start using things like flip boxes and things like expandable text, the accordion text, right? You do all of that to help keep it easy for the human experience to consume. That's what we talk about making it user friendly. Okay. So there's a variety of tricks and tools that we can use, but you do have to spell it out. So I've got the offer here. Here's what it is. Here's how much it costs. I even put a picture there so nobody can miss it. How much? They don't have to set an appointment with me to ask me. When they get on the consultation with me, if they ask me how much, I know they haven't visited my website, which is fine, but it's there, right? It's there for everybody to see. Okay. And then media kits, we explain what they are, how much they cost. Then we talk about what sets our WordPress services apart. Again, we're doing this for both the human and for the AI in this particular case. Okay. But notice how many words are actually on this page. It's a lot of words, but it's a lot of words for a reason, because we're building our case, trying to make our case for why Google should rank us higher. Why should Yahoo? Why should any of these other search engines, right? Like Bing, right? Why should they put Bowman Digital Media at the top of the heap when searching for WordPress developer, right? Because that's what we're looking for. We're looking to rank as high as we can for the services that we do or the keywords that people are searching for, which is more important because, and we haven't talked about this and we should. For years, I was in the graphic print industry and graphic industry. I started out selling the equipment. And the specific equipment I sold was plotters, large format printers that did construction plan machines. That's how I started. Okay. Most people who need that equipment are not searching for the word plotter, they're searching for printer. So if I had a large format printer company that was plotters, right? Only, and I built my whole website using the word plotter, 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 plotter. I might rank high for plotter, but the audience is searching for a different expression. You see the problem? I'm not going to rank, even though I do exactly what they need. There is no, hey, this is what you should have said, right? There is a little bit, but it's very minor. You need to make sure you're on point. And there's research that can be done. We can do it for you to figure out what the audience is actually searching for when they need what it is you do. That needs to be done before you figure out the content that's going on your website. The terminology that you use can make or break you when it comes to SEO. So you can have a beautiful website. It's visually interesting. It's fast. It's got all the text to support the case for the words or the nomenclature that you used, but you missed because you didn't know where the bullseye was. You are an industry expert. You know all the technical terms and all the stuff that people should be searching for, but you forget that they don't. That's why they need to hire you. If they were an expert, they might not need to hire you, but they're not an expert. So you've got to understand this is the phrasing, this is the terminology that they're going to use on Google or what other Siri, right? Or Chat GBT or whatever they're using to find you. You need to make sure you incorporate in volume those words. It doesn't make you look stupid. It makes me understand that you know how SEO works. All right. And that's again how you fine tune a struggling website and make it a well oiled, high producing website. A lot of it has to do with the way it's set up. It was set up on Squarespace or Wix or Weebly or GoDaddy, not using open architecture like WordPress, right? So there's a problem. It was set up like an old 80s brochure. This is who we are, and this is why you should like us, and this is all the manufacturer's specs and blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares yet. The first thing they want to know is, do you make the widget that I'm looking for, right? If I'm there to buy camera batteries and you're telling me all about, your beautiful location nestled in the hills of blah, 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 and you've got 35 employees with over 500 years experience, bro, I'm already on to the next website, right? Or your website, if I'm looking for technology something and your website looks like it was created in 1995, right? I'm moving on. Moving on. It's got to be contemporary. Again, built to your demographic. Consider some of the things I showed you today. Stellar Insights got the larger font because he's dealing with the older folks. Walton Management's got more technical and sophisticated looking graphics and content because the people that they're dealing with are younger and they're in the technology space, specifically in HR. They're dealing with, like HR. What do they call that when they're, high level HR folks, right? I forget their title. It's not, CEO or CHRO, right? That's not how they do it. They've got some other thing that they do. But anyways, the people who run HR or the people that are upper echelon in HR for these enterprise companies, largest companies, that's who they're dealing with. So their website was set up specifically to cater to their demographic. So they know right away they are in the right spot. Then again, what are people searching for on Google, right? So like in Walton's case, if they're looking for somebody that can help them automate their WOTC, WOTC process, Walton needs to rank high for that. And they do, because we do the SEO for them. We help set up the website, the content, and we understood what the clients or prospects, excuse me, the prospects were searching for over on the search engines. And we incorporated those in our strategy when we work on their SEO needs. Okay. First show back in like 4 months. I didn't get any questions. That's okay. I didn't advertise the show was even going to be on today because honestly, even at 9 a.m., I was like, am I going to do it? Am I not going to do it? But, anyways, for those of you who are on today, Mike, Sheila, Samuel, Mohammed, Edwin, my wife, Robin, my mom, Lizette, and my son. All of you guys, I know you're on because you left comments. Thank you so much for supporting me. I will be back. Now, I might be changing the time of this show because for those of you who don't know, I started waiting tables again. So I'm not just running my business, I'm also serving tables. It's a side hustle, if you will. That's the modern way to say, like, moonlighting, which is the way we used to say it. Anyways, so I do some of that. So sometimes I might actually, need to work at the side job at this time. So I think I'm going to move it so that it's a little bit earlier. I think I'm going to do it at 9 a.m. my time, which would be noon Eastern. So just stay tuned. I'll advertise it, of course, if I'm going to change the times. It's been 11 a.m. for quite a while here in California, which is 2 o'clock Eastern. I've been doing it at that time for over a year, couple years, I think. The show's been on for, this is my 4th year doing the show. But anyways, I'm thinking about just making it a little bit earlier so I can be consistent and hit it week in and week out at the same time. So anyway, stay tuned for that. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time. Let's roll these. Let's roll the media. There it is. They changed. I use StreamYard. They changed the way this all works. So anyways, thanks for watching, everybody.